In this video, I want to focus on what we call interoperability solutions.
After identifying yourself online with your EID, you will probably want to use a certain online service. This is where it gets extremely interesting.
The riddle any government has to solve is, how do we allow different information systems to communicate with each other in a secure manner? Many of the government services that we use today rely on lots of information that could be the responsibility of another authority within the government structure.
As an example, the population registry usually deals with information related to the address of people, but the Electoral Commission requires your address to determine in which voting district you're allowed to cast your vote.
Many countries solve this issue by allowing each authority to collect massive amounts of data so that they would all ask you about your name, your ID number, your address, etc.
While this does solve the initial problem, namely the availability of information across different government entities, it creates some other problems in return.
First, the duplication of my data in all the different ministries increases the risk of a data breach which compromises my data. Second, in such a system, it would be difficult to keep the information up to date.
If I had to tell 10 authorities about my address 5 years ago, I would also have to remember to tell all of them when I move to a new address. People might forget one or two of those authorities, and that's how, over time, those massive datasets become inherently flawed and the information corrupted. Estonia's approach to this situation has been the once-only principle. This means that within all of government, there's always only one authority that is allowed to ask a resident for a certain piece of information, for example the address, and store that piece of information as well. My address is stored in the population registry, and any other authority that requires my address, like the aforementioned Electoral Commission, must start an electronic query to temporarily verify that information.
How would these two information systems communicate? This is where interoperability comes in. In Estonia, we use a software and ecosystem solution called X-Road, which provides unified and secure data exchange between both public and private sector organizations.
All outgoing data is digitally signed and logged, while all incoming data is authenticated and logged.
Of course, different information systems use different application programming interfaces, but they are all capable of using the X-Road as the backbone environment to transfer data.
To give you one simple example, let's take the e-prescription. If your doctor prescribes medicine, he or she does so electronically, connecting the right to receive a certain prescription medicine with your EID. At the pharmacy, you simply present your ID card, the pharmacist retrieves your personal information from the e-health database and gives you the medicine. Because the e-prescription system automatically asks for the data from the National Health Insurance Fund, any state medical subsidies to which the patient is entitled also appear. So potential discounts are applied automatically. Today, 99% of all prescriptions in the country are issued online, and it makes life easier for all doctors, pharmacists, and patients involved. Many data queries are automated because they are run several times a day to verify that your data is up to date. There are many real-life use cases that make this system incredibly attractive to use, not just for public sector entities, but also for private companies.
Over the past few years, several countries have implemented the free and open source X-Road software, or proprietary software with similarities to it, because interoperability is necessary for effective digital service provision. But let's think bigger. If it's possible to allow all important information systems within a country to exchange data, could we also let data ecosystems of several countries do the same thing? This is what we call the X-Road Trust Federation feature, and in fact, it's already been implemented. The federation between the Estonian and Finnish X-Road ecosystems was established in February 2018, and it means that, technically speaking, members of the federated ecosystems can exchange data almost similarly as if they were members of the same ecosystem.
This opens up lots of opportunities in the areas of business, cross-border cooperation, and policy coordination. As an example, the national business registers in Estonia and Finland have agreed in 2019 to start exchanging data between each other by making use of the X-Road strong points. We are thus talking about a real example of cross-border data exchange.
Finally, it's worth pointing out that the Estonian government does not collect more data than other democracies. The X-Road just helps the authorities use that data more efficiently to provide better digital services. We have now covered two essential topics that helped e-Estonia become what it is today. First, the e-ID, which helps people prove their identity online. And second, the X-Road, that helps various public and private sector organizations exchange information in a unified and secure manner.
But of course, none of these things matter if we don't take care of the cybersecurity side of things. Not just to protect the data from hackers, but also to ensure functionality and trustworthiness of the information we receive online. And this is exactly what we will be talking about next.